All right, thank you and welcome everybody. I'm so glad you're able to join us today, and certainly thank you to Kirsten and Karasoft team for hosting this event. My name is John Becker, and I'm founder and CEO of PlatCore, and I've been in various technology, operations, and product roles for 25 years, and have spent nearly a decade in the ServiceNow ecosystem, also working at a variety of customer sites. I'd like to tell you just a little bit about the story of learning management and learning solutions that are built on ServiceNow. So in the ServiceNow community, had been asking for a native learning management system. I listened and I knew the pain all too well. At the time, I was working at a customer site that struggled and frankly suffered greatly with mandatory compliance training. And as an early champion for ServiceNow, as well as a fearless opportunist, I knew this was a problem that the ServiceNow platform could solve both efficiently and elegantly. And it's been nearly 5 very long and fulfilling years since our debut at CreatorCon 2017, and PlatCore continues to thrive as an ISV technology startup that saves customers and agencies millions of dollars annually. And we're excited to show you some of the 4 breakthrough innovations in government learning, as well as our new value that we're bringing to those government agencies. So let's get started. So first, a little bit more about PlatCore. We are a native learning management system that's built on ServiceNow. We're based in Denver, Colorado, with employees throughout the US. We're an elite technology partner who builds applications for the Now platform and specifically in learning. We're also world-class developers, so we've been working with the Now platform for a while, and we aggressively innovate with 2 to 3 impactful and big releases every single year. We're also fiercely committed to our customers, over half of which are in the public sector, and we continue to roll out features that drive value in government learning. And that's what brings us all here today. So we look forward to showing you a little bit more about our federal edition also that was just released last week. So PlatCore drives real value for government customers, including consolidation, so you can use your existing ServiceNow instance as a hub to deliver training. You can automate, so you can streamline your processes using incredibly flexible ServiceNow workflows. And finally, we make it easy to provide great employee experiences. So simply, our goal is to harness the ServiceNow platform to make better learning technology so you can keep your staff happy, productive, and engaged. So a quick visual first before jumping the agenda about how we fit into the Now platform. So applications that are built on Now do have a unique place in the ServiceNow ecosystem. So they're created by people with subject matter expertise who understand the problem and know how to solve it through technology, and specifically technology relating to ServiceNow. So PlatCore is certified and inspected by ServiceNow to ensure our application has the reliability, scalability, and performance that you'd expect, all of which is to protect your platform. And once made available, PlatCore is installed on your instance and works just like any other application on the platform. So PlatCore is also available for either government FedRAMP data centers or on-premise for our highest secure agencies as well. And PlatCore is certainly a small business, but we leverage the development resources of a $4 billion company, which is ServiceNow. So ServiceNow releases new platform capabilities, such as their upcoming Quebec release. PlatCore takes advantage of those and sometimes does so automatically. So this is allowing PlatCore to innovate faster than our old school competitors and also drive value faster than newer market entrants as well. So pairing ServiceNow resources with small innovative subject matter experts creates an enormous sustainable value for your agencies and the other agencies that we work with. So with that context about PlatCore and how it fits into the platform and the ecosystem, here's our agenda for today's event. So first, we're going to talk about some of the most important innovations that we've seen in the last year that are helping government agencies modernize learning. And we're going to talk about how connected training systems are inherently easier and more efficient, and as well as how to protect your data, as well as simplify the procurement process as well. Then we're going to do a quick demo and highlight a few of the features in our newest federal edition. And finally, we're going to share some stories about our other government customers. And we've also made some time at the end to answer any questions that you may have as well. So if everybody's on board, let's jump in. So to start off, recall the slide of the last slide for the Now platform. So this native connection allows you to use any of the data or processes on the platform. So for example, you can track training to your HR profiles or embed it in your onboarding processes or use HR data to kick off training as well. So there are just so many possibilities, but here are some of the ways that we found that connected learning is really impactful for our government agencies. So let's talk about what I mean by connected learning. So first, helping advanced consolidation initiatives. And a few reasons why that matters is you can now remove silos, both from a system and data perspective. You can reduce APIs and other integrations, which really enable a seamless experience. You can facilitate security and procurement as well, which we're going to discuss a little bit later. So our system also finally gives customers control of their learning. So you can limit visibility of courses by groups and other criteria. You can also assign training by any user field as well. But some of the features that we've also introduced based on what we've heard from some of our other government agencies is that the new federal edition is also taking the next step to tie competencies, such as OPM competencies based on the Mosaic model or other areas that you may have for competencies. We can now tie those to learning courses within the platform. And we've also added Kirkpatrick style surveys and dashboards, which helps measure the effectiveness of your training, whether that's immediately after or 6 months after the training has occurred. And our connected learning solution also gives you unmatched flexibility. So you can white label the solution. So you can brand it with your colors and your agency logos, as well as terminology as well. You can also have learning portals that are our learning portals are widget-based. So you can add to or eliminate to our portal with just very simple and easy one-click no or low-code development, but you can also put training into any other ServiceNow portal that you might have. So you can take some of our widgets and bring them into other solutions that you're already providing with ServiceNow. Our new Discovery Center also allows recommendations using learner data as well. And yet another example is that in the new federal edition, you can also change that terminology, which is used in your LMS. And you can do this in minutes. And I'll show you a little bit about that later. So next, we want to show you how to simplify compliance. So learning needs to be seamlessly integrated into places that people already spend their time at work. And the training that you need should be offered certainly when and where it is needed. So using ServiceNow technology like contextual search and AI and dynamic assignments that we provide and much more, we make training more relevant and engaging at exactly the point where it's required. And lastly, we did want to show you the impact of automated notifications that escalate as needed. And this is a simple step that you can use to ensure that your agency remains compliant. So as a native ServiceNow LMS, we allow you to automate and easily automate this training. So some examples include being able to set mandatory training like security awareness or privacy, acceptable use policies, et cetera, to set and recur on a set schedule. You can also dynamically assign onboarding training as well. And you can even allow access to systems and machinery or locations that are triggered by workflows based on training completions and much more. Really, the opportunities are endless for you. You can also create automated notifications to ensure staff stay up to date on their mandatory compliance. And this includes notifications that automatically escalate to managers or managers of managers as needed. And this helps to ensure that learners are held accountable and that training needs are met. And the PlatCore LMS actually has multiple automated notifications already configured out of the box. You also have centralized reporting across your agencies. So you can easily create and deliver new reports, including scheduled reports, and drag and drop those reports to custom dashboards as well. So in our new federal edition, we've even added a compliance and assessment dashboards that specifically show the data in powerful real-time reports, specifically targeting compliance. So we've talked about some of the benefits of native learning. So next, we wanted to highlight a weakness in nearly all LMS vendors, which is security. So this is a very difficult area for learning vendors, and it's always going to be a moving target, and it gets increasingly complex all the time. So let's look at our unique value proposition and the position of native applications in the context of security. So native applications present a massive opportunity for keeping data secure. For instance, ServiceNow applications that live on your existing instance, leverage your Now platform's world-class security and hosting capabilities. And these apps that help you extend the functionality of the Now platform, they do so without adding any additional vulnerability, as long as they're leveraging the Now platform. So without additional vendor access, we don't have access to like your data and systems. Your systems are more secure. They're also easier to maintain. And we found this is especially critical for learning, where sometimes highly sensitive material is often being communicated for training. It's really important to have your learning vendors at arm's length on that. And lastly, we wanted to talk about how to facilitate procurement. So ServiceNow applications enable more flexible procurement options, and PlatCore partners with Carahsoft to enable a level of procurement flexibility that's not previously seen, as we're based on the ServiceNow platform, which many of you already have in place. So let's look at some of those details. As mentioned, Carahsoft enables our US public sector procurement processes. So PlatCore is on a number of contract vehicles, and frankly, more are coming. So Carahsoft has the ability and flexibility to meet your needs, manage your renewals, and work directly with your procurement teams. And they do this day in and day out, so their process is smooth and streamlined. So being able to bring ISV applications, which are built on a platform, really enable you to be able to acquire these, whether it's direct or sole source, or through the RFI, RFP, RFQ processes with Carahsoft. So the point being is like they know how to help, and we've smoothed that procurement process to take away the pain for procuring PlatCore for certainly PlatCore, but also your agency and yourself as well. And as we just looked at some of the four innovations in government learning, I also wanted to introduce our PlatCore LMS Federal Edition, where we've built many of those features right in for some of the most government requests. So this pre-configured solution is intended to address some of the most needed features within your LMS. And then we also wanted to make it super fast and easy to achieve your implementations and ultimately get value from your LMS very quickly. So some of the features that we've brought into the government space through our learning platform is really around 4 different areas. So we wanted to be able to simplify compliance reporting through real-time compliance dashboards that are also pre-configured elegantly and seamlessly to implement. We also wanted to tie OPM competencies, and these are preloaded, so you can have those available to you immediately, but you can also further configure these to meet your agency's unique needs as well. We also wanted to be able to gather some training feedback with including surveys. So now you can further add or modify questions, providing valuable feedback for your training effectiveness, whether that's immediately after training happens or 6 months later. You can also configure your terminology across the LMS to match your agency's unique language, and no other LMS provides this flexibility. So let me just flip into our demo here and let's take a look. So what we're seeing right now is the learner portal. So I'm a learner and I wanted to come into a solution, and here's where I would go to get all of the information that is relevant for me as a learner. So it has some key information here. It has a little bit about me, but it also shows me exactly what I've got completed or what's to do and overdue. So if I look down here, I see some of my courses that are available to me. And I see, oh, I've got this Learning Planner, ILT, and some other courses that are required there. So I can see them in the all view, but I also can see exactly what's past due here in this required tab, and it tells me that really obviously. In addition, I can bookmark material. So this can be material that's out there from a course content or micro content as well. But there's some other really key areas here on our dashboard that I wanted to highlight. So you're starting to see other things. So you're seeing news and training roles as well for people there. And the training roles are really interesting in that they allow you to understand exactly what content you've got to complete yet. So you might have things that are not complete, but Sean's been able to complete his compliance training with the exceptional use policy as well as password protection there. So you see a lot of information there right on the screen that helps people understand what they need to do. Next, we can move over to our catalog. So here's where, as a learner, I would go to explore content that my L&D teams have provided for me through their content curation. So I can look at all kinds of different things, including being able to search for information very quickly and see leadership excellence. Lots of different capabilities here are available, and this is all configurable and customizable. And you can look at this material also in multiple ways. So you might want to have a little bit more detail about that. You also might have instructor-led training programs that are available at specific times, date and times, and you can click into those and see the sessions that are available as well, right in that calendar view. We also have the ability to recommend things through our recommendation engine, which is the Discovery Center. So here you have the ability to certainly present the newest or popular courses, but also what your team is learning, because you took other courses that are categorized, but because you took other compliance related courses or whatever the tags happen to be, and you can specify what you want in to be discoverable. But the point here is like this recommendation engine gets smarter over time as your teams take more courses, as your managers take more courses, as your other learners take more courses that are relevant to you. We're going to be able to recommend things that are more specific and more relevant to you to make a really engaging learning experience as well. And lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the transcripts on the learner side. So here you have courses such as AUP or acceptable use policies, certificates such as Management 101, maybe the course that goes along with that Management 101, and other types of certifications. You have all of this information from a learner perspective, so I know as a learner exactly what I've done in the past, and if I want to, I can certainly click through some of these and get up to my certificate of completions immediately. But I can also download my entire transcript in just one click. So it's really easy to be able to take that material and that information to other agencies as well. One thing to note, you can also add your own external certifications as well. So if I went outside and had a CPR certification or something, I could add that if it was available and governed for my agency as something that they wanted to be able to track. So there's a lot of flexibility here in this learner portal. And before I jump into the other side, one thing to know for your agencies, all of this is, as I mentioned, was white labeled, so you can be able to brand this however you want, including being able to, to change your logos, change your color schemes, and being able to change the language as well. I'll show you some of that as we get into the admin side, which is right over here. So your administrative dashboard is a different view of the world. While as a learner, I went to the learner portal to really just understand what I've got to do and is focused on me, making sure I can elegantly and quickly get to information that's relevant for me. The administrative dashboard is a little different. Here it has information that is relevant to your entire agency. So it has everything that's going on. So the LMS administrative dashboard has all these reports on it and everything is clicked through. So it's incredibly powerful to bring clarity to your training programs right away. And it has lots of different capabilities to be able to put information on here, but you can move this thing around and change it up as you need to. But one thing I did want to make sure that we're all aware of is like we've got also multiple roles. So you've got manager dashboards, which have information, and these are all roles that are delegated out. So your management teams can assign training to their people as necessary as well if you provide them that role. We also have like some other roles for like trainers who manage instructor-led events, but also content creator dashboards out there. One other special dashboard type that we've created for this federal edition is our compliance dashboard. And this dashboard allows you to be able to recommend and understand exactly what compliance courses you have, and then being able to have that information front and center right in your courses so you can see exactly what courses are overdue or how your compliance training is going. It's like, okay, green good, red bad. So you can click through that and makes it really apparent as far as courses and what's being tagged as compliance courses, and that's being pulled automatically onto this dashboard. So it's actually really, really cool, really elegant way to get visibility into your compliance training programs as well. So I wanted to give just a little bit of an overview here inside the LMS too for some specific things and also generally. So we manage content in lots of different ways. So we have courses or instructor-led events, learning plans, micro content, quizzes, surveys and training roles. Let me just jump into our courses here so we can start to see how tagging works for our courses and what you have available to be able to build out really elegant solutions for your learning. So what we're seeing is an acceptable use policy course. And here it's got the course name and description and enrollment types and stuff. But the things that are really cool and really important about this particular course is its compliance tag. So just by tagging a course as compliance, it's now being able to be pulled into that dashboard for compliance. So everything is really automatic at that point. So let's go also into our activities. So you're starting to see other areas. So you see activity assignments and things like that. So I want to just give a quick high-level view where we track achievements and assignments and certifications, gradebooks, news, all kinds of things. The key areas here I really wanted to hit on is around your assignments. And this is one area where PlatCore is amazing at. So we have the ability to automatically assign material in 3 different ways. So you can have like one-time assignments for courses, whether that's compliance or other courses, really doesn't matter. You have the ability to do lots of different requests here. So you can select your courses and learning plans, as well as training profiles, and assign them to users. And you can do that by groups or individuals, but you can also assign them by maybe a city or a cost center or a department. All of those things are available to you. And that's one of the areas where connected learning really is impactful, because you have the ability to bring all of this data and material together to provide really robust training assignment solutions. You can also select assignments for recurrence, including selecting the material and then assigning them by a schedule, whether that's once a year or once a quarter or once every 2 years. You can really just set that up and let it roll. And then lastly is our dynamic assignments. And this has the ability to be used for things like employee onboarding, where you have an employee that shows up in the system and it's automatically assigned a robust HR onboarding plan, onboarding training program directly to that user. Or you can also have it like with updates. So you can have, as users change departments or change titles, you can automatically assign material to them as well. One other area I did want to hit on, because it's important for a lot of our public sector customers, is the ability to track certifications. So we have a robust certification management process, which allows you to see certifications and who holds them, but also when they expire. You can even auto-renew training, so you can automatically assign training for certifications maybe 60 days prior to something expiring. It's really powerful. We also have about 30 reports built in, and I won't go through all of those, but I always want to highlight the reports and the capabilities that are out there for reports. And it's based on our ServiceNow reporting engine as well. So you're able to configure and change and modify these reports as time goes on. And as you need to, you can even schedule these things and send them to executives as well. So one area I did want to also highlight in our setup is around our competencies. And we talked about some of this before, where you can have competencies available for lots of different things that people are measured by for your HR and individual development plans. So we ship around 300 competencies now out of the box based on some of the OPM models that are out there. But if you need to, you can modify, change, inactivate these, upload more and things like that. But you now have the ability to tie your competencies directly to your course material. In addition to some of the competencies that we've added in our federal edition, you also have the ability to do content for surveys. For instance, you can have level 1 surveys, and the intent here is to be able to measure the effectiveness of your training. And these are included out of the box, and you can change and modify them as necessary with a survey designer. So you can adjust questions or even completely make additional surveys and trigger them at appropriate times so you can measure the effectiveness of what's going on here. We also talked about terminology and being able to change some of the branding in some of the areas that are out here. For instance, like your LMS dashboard, we call these things my courses. You may call them something different. You may call these things like my lessons or something like that. The terminology configuration capability really allows us to seamlessly and effortlessly change this terminology, which is now my courses. I changed that in just a few seconds, and now it's my lessons. And you can do this as needed throughout the entire front end to make sure that your terminology is matching exactly what your learners are expecting. So we've covered a lot about our federal edition here, but let's just jump back into the presentation a little bit. And I want to talk a little bit of story with you guys and talk a little bit about what some of our customers are actually using with the PlatCore LMS. So the first one is one of our public sector clients wanted to make a really efficient but streamlined government LMS. So they wanted to have it be simple. They wanted to have all of their training in one location. They wanted to have automated approvals and workflows. They also wanted great visibility for executive reporting, as well as a great single source of truth for their learning. So they were able to consolidate 3 training external catalogs into one unified experience, bring all that together. This enabled exceptional reporting. So they were able now to have dashboards which show training spend, training hours, training progress annually for each and every employee. And they were able to report all this up to leadership as well. They have great accountability now. So they were able to automate multi-level approvals with justifications. And all this was coupled with no-show reports for instructor-led training, which enables cost savings as well as improved financial stewardship. We also have another client, which is a government-funded research lab, and they really wanted a lot of flexibility. So they're using PlatCore as a training platform. By being able to do this, they're also able to really tie training into their training-enabled workflows. And they're also able to have mobile anywhere. So they're using mobile roster management for their instructor-led training events. So they were using training as a gateway, which really provides required training and leverage ServiceNow workflows that automatically provision physical access to some assets, specifically data center, after completion of training. And they do all this automatically. They're also extended the training platform to provide instructors some really tailored mobile apps to manage their event rosters. And they can do all that right from the instructors' tablets as well. And lastly, we have a highly secure intelligence agency, which has automated training rules. So they are able to put training on autopilot and put that training then into the flow of work. And they also have hosting flexibility. So while some and many customers want to put their training in a FedRAMP data center, they required on-premise configuration. We're happy to do that. Not a problem. So they were able to put their training on autopilot and automatically assign training based on rules for temporary duty changes, role changes, and much more. They also have the ability to distribute course creation, so they can have their courses created by many parts of the organization, and subject matter experts are creating courses versus learning development people. Having said that, just note that there are also approvals and governance still required, and those are available also through workflows. So they're able to distribute the courses while still govern the content around those courses, which is exciting. So just a quick plug for the resources we have on our website. We've got lots of stories of how customers are innovating with PlatCore in their own learning, and our clients constantly surprise us in just new ways that they leverage and drive value with PlatCore plus ServiceNow. So we encourage you to go check out a little bit about the PlatCore site there for that. And then lastly, we have a huge number of resources on successful learning management and increasing the outcomes of your learning programs. And a few of these include our Ultimate ebook series, which was actually created by one of our public sector customers. And they include guides to learning metrics, developing business case, LMS implementation plans, and more. We also have our 5 reasons blog post, which is now an ebook, and it was really expanded there. So check that out as well. And certainly we have a lot of our webinars on there available for things like government focused things that we've talked about, training workflows, hybrid workplace webinars. Just go to platcore.com to take advantage of all those free materials and explore a little bit about us. So to wrap up for today, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We have saved some time for questions, so please put those in the chat. But Kirsten, do we have any questions that have already been submitted?
Thank you, John. Yeah, it does look like we have a few questions. The first question is PlatCore authorized anywhere in the Department of State? Do you know of any bureau using it currently?
In Department of State, I'd have to check for that, but we are authorized through Carasoft, and we'd be able to be acquired for DOS. And that could be either FedRAMP or on-premise, not a problem at all there. I do know there are a number of people who are actually talking with already in the Department of State there. Um, so short answer, yeah, we can be brought into the Department of State, and we can also connect whoever is necessary there with some of our other clients as well to understand what's necessary to implement PlatCore and bring that in.
Thank you. The next question is how easy is PlatCore to work with other applications we use on the ServiceNow platform?
That's fantastic. And that's a lot of the thesis about our connected learning and how we really bring all of these things together. So we do not limit what you're capable of. Like we expose all of our data to any other ServiceNow module that's out there. And that could be HRSD, some of the employee lifecycle management, it could be safe workplace apps, it can be customer service management. We don't limit that at all. And we're really, really open with that. So anything that's on the platform, we can tie with, and you can bring us into some of those workflows and a really, really robust solution, which is exciting to do. And that's some of the best use cases that we've got is like when we can tie that into lots of different areas. So thank you for that question, whoever did that with that. That's fantastic.
Another question is how long does it take to implement PlatCore if the DOS is already using ServiceNow?
So this is one of the fantastic stories we've got, especially in DOS. If you're already on the platform, we are going to be the most simple enterprise solution you will ever have experienced. We'll take advantage of everything you've already done from single sign-ons and bringing in your users into that. We can use lots of capabilities to really streamline that process. And we're built for quick implementations. We usually measure our implementations in weeks, not months, to be able to pull those things together. So it's exceptional that you guys are already on that, and I'm excited to be able to have that opportunity. I hope to be able to work with you in the future.
There is another question coming in that says, are there limitations to applications you can integrate within the platform?
Yeah, and that's similar to what I talked about before. So we can tie into other things. So we can put our data, on an HR portal, for instance, or our widgets on an HR portal, or maybe a IT service management, or maybe even a completely custom service portal. We can tie with pretty much anything that's on the platform. And I'll even extend that question just a little bit. We have the ability to leverage ServiceNow's integration capabilities. So we can use APIs and really bring information from other HRIS systems or other solutions that you need to distribute data to. We can do that through the ServiceNow tools as well. So we have an amazing story to tell both inside the platform, but even being able to pull in other data from other areas outside the platform as well. So thanks for that question as well.
Another question is it FedRAMP approved?
So ServiceNow has the FedRAMP approved data centers. So it's a little nuanced, but software isn't FedRAMP approved. So it's really about the hardware that's there. But we have multiple stories and multiple customers with PlatCore in the ServiceNow FedRAMP data center that we're able to pull that in. If you need more information on that too, I have a lot of different information from the ServiceNow Trust site as far as how they manage their FedRAMP and DoD authorizations as well.
Thank you, John. Another question is to what extent can the front end be customized?
So if you want to configure our front end, you can pull that into lots of different approaches. So it's very open for you. So if you want to pull in widgets or pull off widgets from our front end, put widgets on, you can do that. If you want to change even the formatting and look and feel of that, you can do that as well. It's really the sky's the limit on that. So We give you the flexibility to use our stuff and have that platform built out of the box. But as far as being able to take it further, honestly, your imagination is the limit. We can tie in exactly how you need us to look and feel into your environment.
And then the last question I'm seeing come through is, are you able to edit or add these competencies? Can we add competencies that relate to other competencies?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the ability to add as many competencies as you want. Many of the agencies will be using very specific things for them, and you can bring all those things into our platform and then tie those to courses, as well as having kind of parent-child relationships for those competencies as well. And this helps you really develop great individual development plans using our LMS as well, and then being able to tie those to performance management as well.
I'd like to thank our participants as well as the PlatCore team for being with us today. We hope the information you received during this webinar has been helpful. Everyone will receive a copy of the slides and the presentation. Please don't hesitate to call or email us with any questions. Thanks again and have a great day.
Cool, Kirsten and Karasoff, thanks so much for hosting us today and to learn a little bit more about PlatCore. So for any questions also for us, please don't hesitate to call or send us an email. We'd love to talk more about your organization's needs. Thanks everybody for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it, and we thank you for spending a little bit of your time with us. Have a great day.